Good afternoon. Hope you guys are doing well today. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to install some cable railings. So you're going to need a few things. You're going to need the pins that are going to be going into the posts, as you can see here. You're going to need some cutters to be able to cut your cable, as seen here. And you're gonna need your hydraulic crimping tool. You should be able to get this at Home Depot or just online somewhere. But yeah, I'll show you how to do it right now. So your first step is you're going to want to make sure you have the correct size crimping tools inside of your crimping tool. Sounds weird, but these come in different sizes. We're using number 4 because it fits perfectly around this here. You're gonna notice you have 2 different styles. You're gonna have one plain one and one with a smaller one inside it. Let me show you here. So this one with the one inside of it actually twists out, as you can see. So for all of them, you're gonna wanna take them all the way out and then just go in just a couple threads. Just a couple threads. You want it as far out as you can make it, basically. Your next step is to pop in the bigger one on one end. Depending on the place you got it from or the size of the hole you drilled yourself, it might go in a little hard. And you might want to just stick it in a little bit and bang it in the rest of the way with a hammer, which I'm gonna have to do right now, and I'll show you that as well. All right, hopefully my phone doesn't fall here, but I'm just gonna lightly tap it. And then once it's a little bit of the ways, you're going to want to make sure it is perfectly centered so it can come through the other side. And when it comes out, it'll look something kind of along the lines of that right there. Now your other side, if you are against a wall and you have the bigger style, which we don't on this particular one because both sides are gonna be different, obviously, because this one's wider than the other one. So if you have it against the wall and you have the bigger one, I would just recommend taking this out so you could slide it in a little easier. But in this instance, we actually have the small one going on the back side. But you're actually not going to put that in yet. And I'll show you right now what you're gonna wanna do next. Next, you're gonna want to open up your roll of cable. And once you've got your roll of cable open, you're gonna stick it through the hole that has the smaller pin. And I like to just pull it a little further so it's easier to crimp it. And I would also recommend putting your cable on one of these buckets, have a little weight in the bucket as well, because when you pull it, it'll just turn. It's nice and easy. So once you've got that out of the end here, you're going to want to take your little pin and put it on like so. I'm gonna show you, but I only have 2 hands, so. All right, so once you've got it, the pin on the end, it's very loose. You're gonna want to grab your crimping tool, make sure it's selected to on, and a tip would definitely be pump this up a little bit to make it so you don't have to pump it like 100 times once you get this pin on there, because it's a lot easier to just do it beforehand. And what I like to do is put the wire, sorry about that. I like to put the wire through first, just like that. And just get the pin tight on the crimper. Not too tight, just a little bit. So then you can still slide this freely. So you want to make sure it's all the way against the wall, and then you can continue crimping it as so. So this tool actually gets pretty tight, pretty quick. It's not too hard to use, but it definitely gets a little tiring after a little while, and you're gonna leave that little indent on there, and it's nice and tight. So now you've got a lot of extra, and you just pull it through like so. And that's what it's gonna look like on this side permanently. Then you got your first wire up. So next you're gonna wanna just double check that this thing is on the last few threads, because you definitely don't want it all the way in, or else you will not be able to tighten it after. So take your slack from the other end, and I kind of just eyeball it. I put it right up against it, right? And if you look from this exact point of view, you can grab this, and you want to cut it right about the middle of this piece right here. It really depends on the style of these that you have for where you want to cut it. Some of them are a lot longer than this one, and those ones are actually a lot easier. But for this one, you want to cut it about the middle of this one. So I kind of mark it with my hand. I kind of run along until I'm right where I want to cut it. And then I'll show you how to cut it right now. So keep your finger in the same spot here, right? So I haven't let go of that spot. So you're gonna need your cutting tools. Make sure this nut is tight, because it will make this into 1,000 pieces if it's loose, and it is a nightmare. So what you're gonna wanna do is just pop this right to where your finger was, and definitely keep your fingers out of this, because this thing snaps pretty hard, as you can see. So now we're working with this and the part you just cut, and then you just gotta stick it in there. So sometimes little pieces will kind of stick out like that, little hair right there. You can cut those off after, but it is a little easier to just try to get all of them in. And now you're gonna wanna take your crimping tool and just crimp right here while trying to keep this as tight as possible, this wire here. So like I was showing you earlier, the trick is definitely easier to put this on it, just get it a little tight, just so it holds itself, not so tight that your wire's not gonna be able to go through. So let's see here. I'm unable to crimp this and hold you guys at the same time, because this thing, like I said, gets pretty hard, but just crimp it until it's tight and just do a little test pull, make sure it doesn't come out. And that is pretty much all there is to it, to putting that cable up. Now, once all of them are up, you're gonna want to put your Allen key that came with your set. As you can see here, we have the Allen key. That's for tightening it at the end. So to tighten it, you're gonna want to put your Allen key on this side, and you could just grab a regular pair of pliers and just twist this. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. And you're gonna have something that's gonna end up looking somewhat like that. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.